Hello and welcome, I'm Kayla Scribner, and today I'm going to be going over my 2020 reading goals and plans and kind of how I'm hoping to do things and having a more, focused thing this year. Let's go. So first of all, we have read 20 Canadian books. So about May of last year, I was like, wow, I really haven't read any Canadian books. Okay, I'm wearing this hat specifically so that I don't get itchy on my eye because it falls into my hair, but that I can actually wear my hair down. It ain't working, and the hat is just and then, so yeah, I really want to read more from Canadian authors. I am Canadian and I want to support Canadian authors. I've already read 2, which is better than most because I've really read like Lucy Montgomery and poetry, and that's it. So now we have read 30 classic novels. I think I read exactly 30 last year, so I'm pretty excited to do this and to read more classics. I love them. I read one so far, it's Little Women, and then read 10 more. So last year I kind of did a book, which I have to kind of do a backup of how I got into horror and all of that. And I have read 1 horror so far, and I want to read more and really enjoying, especially classic horror. Please recommend some to me because I'm adoring them. And then read 40 comics and graphic novels. So I was super into graphic novels probably 2018, and then mid 2019 I kind of just stopped. And mid 2020 I started again, thanks to Casually Comics, who I adore her. She's one of the people where like I have the things and I kind of know when she uploads because I'm a stalker like that. And I really enjoy the way that she humorously talks about it, but also like really informatively and educationally, and just talks about nuanced things and also Nightwing's butt. And it's just like one of those great things and entertaining and all of that. And I want to read more. I read 3 already, so I'm adoring this already, and I kind of want to do that every month. And then we have read 7 short story collections. I've been notoriously bad. I have a Margaret Atwood poetry collection. Okay, there's too many books on here. Dancy Girls, which I've had on my shelf for 1.5 million years, and I just haven't read, but I really enjoyed reading some. I read Black enough, and I also read Shirley Jackson's story collection, and I just super loved the ones I did. So I think 7 is kind of my like read enough to get into it. And yeah, and then I have read 40% authors of color. I really want to do better at this. I think last time I was 37, and I don't really want to be like that person who's like, I don't need a certain percentage or anything. Like, it's just to be knowledgeable about the books that I'm reading, especially since I read a lot of comics which don't have enough representation in them, and a lot of classics which don't have enough representation. So I really want to be making sure that when I'm reading outside of those genres, I'm paying more attention to making sure that, not for some political reason, but just that I am hearing and listening to people from all around the world, because most of the information, especially in 2020 and 2021, is coming from books, and I want to make sure that I'm not in an echo chamber. And then I have read more unknown books. This is something Books Unbound talked about a lot, and I was like, yes, I want this, as well as non-American centric books. I'm kind of tired of the hype. I don't know, like, I just have really been enjoying reading. Like, Una Out of Order was one of my favorite books of 2021 or 2020, and I've read a few others that just no one had heard about, and I love it, and I love being able to share the love and so on. And I love popular books too, but I love being able to just find a book that and share it with other people, and to just not always read what is popular, because sometimes you find really cool books that way. Not that I need to be hipster, I just want to do things to be thoughtful. Anyways, and then moving down, this is when editing comes in fact. TBR. So I want to have a kind of TBR outline for each month. First of all, I want to have 3 owned books because, I think that was under 80 owned books unread. I keep my nonfiction off that because a lot of my nonfictions I don't ever intend to read in full thing. Like, I have a bunch of encyclopedias and stuff like that, or like massive story collections and stuff like that. But I'll probably never read, but I want to read the rest of my books. I want to have less library books and more owned books, which is opposite from a lot of people. Anyways, and then I want to read 1 classic each month, 1 Canadian each month, 2 comics, and 1 nonfiction, because those are kind of the genres I want to be mostly focusing on. And of course I'll be reading fantasy and science fiction because I love those, but I want to be making sure that when I'm making my TBR going into the month, those are books that I'm at least on the TBR. I'm kind of terrible at following TBRs. Anyways, this was a short video. This This was a short video, but I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you throughout this year, and tell me what your goals are.